Tennis fans, assemble! The last Grand Slam event of the season is upon us, and we've got quite the star-studded entry list to go through today. You better be excited because the US Open Tennis Championships commence on August 29th. And since we've got some time on our hands, let's take a look at what this year's roster looks like. Who will we be seeing? Who will fail to show up? Let's dive in. First up, the revision of COVID policies has paved the way for Novak Djokovic. After being kicked out of the country just ahead of the Australian Open, and also missing out on tournaments in Montreal and Cincinnati thanks to his unvaccinated status, the former world number one was really hoping that he could make his comeback in the US Open. But that doesn't mean he's agreed to getting the COVID-19 vaccine. No way. Nobody tells Novak what to do, even if his career depends on it. And so his US Open fate remained in limbo due to the coronavirus regulations regarding entry requirements and quarantine. And after he was barred from entering the US, there was little hope left. But looks like the stars have aligned for the Serbian player, as American health chiefs have relaxed nationwide coronavirus norms for unvaccinated people just a couple of weeks before the tournament. We know, spectacular timing. On Thursday, the CDC announced the end of many COVID restrictions and decided they will no longer discriminate between people who are vaccinated and those who aren't. Woohoo. You know what this means, right? Our rebellious Djokovic can now play the Grand Slam despite being unvaccinated. Now, isn't that some great news? The US Open organizers are yet to make an official statement regarding the development, but we're certain that the 2022 Wimbledon winner will be in action in New York, and we can't wait. Next, Nick Kyrgios has also earned a spot in the US Open. The Aussie star has been on quite the roll this year. After becoming a Wimbledon finalist, Nick has gone on to take the crown for the first man to sweep the singles and doubles titles in the City Open. It makes sense why people are calling it the most consistent season of his career. So we can't help but wonder, will we be seeing some Nick action in the US Open? Luckily, the answer is yes. After the 27-year-old defeated the world number one, Daniil Medvedev, he then went on to claim a mentally tough win against fellow Alex de Minaur in the Canadian Open. Although Kyrgios admitted that it wasn't easy beating someone he considers a friend, he had to get the job done. This victory was critical for the 27-year-old who hasn't been doing the best ranking-wise. But things have changed. After winning his 9th straight singles match, he's soared up the ATP rankings, securing a much-needed jump. And the best part is that he's now falling inside the top 30 going into the US Open. Yes, this means he'll be seeded for the Grand Slam tournament and will also dodge going up against top-ranked opponents early on. There you have it. Looks like everyone needs to watch out for this Aussie beast. Moving on, Serena Williams will be making her last competitive appearance. We have some good news and some bad news with this one. The good news is that the 23-time Grand Slam singles champion will be playing at the US Open, where she's previously won 6 of her major singles titles. But unfortunately, this will be her final outing in the sport. That's right, grab your tissue rolls, cause the Queen of Tennis, who's won more major singles titles than any female player in the Open era, said she's ready to move on to other things in life. Despite the 40-year-old's almost unrivaled legacy, Williams' prospects could be in a better state as she prepares for New York. Earlier in June, she made her singles return at Wimbledon after a lengthy injury layoff. Although we were ecstatic to have her back, the tennis star performed nowhere near her best and suffered a first-round exit against Harmony Tan. Now that's a first. According to the tennis icon, she wasn't prepared to win Wimbledon, and though she's going to give it her all, she's not sure if she's ready to win New York either. She also added that despite the fan fantasy of her beating Margaret's record, she's not looking for some ceremonial final on-court moment. No pressure, Serena. You claimed the crown a long time ago. While her Open fate remains unsure, what's certain certain is that the boss lady will be playing in fully packed courts, as ever since the news of her retirement, US Open ticket sales have skyrocketed, and fans are flocking to witness the legend's send-off. A bittersweet occasion indeed. So, will we be seeing the one and only Rafael Nadal? After the acclaimed Spanish player withdrew from the US Open tune-up event in Montreal due to the same abdominal strain, fans were scared this might also mean he'd be a no-show at the final Grand Slam of this season, especially since the same abdominal strain also forced him to pull out of his Wimbledon semifinal last month. But our prayers have been answered, and the world number 3 has confirmed that he'll be playing the Western and Southern Open in Cincinnati in preparation for the US Open. After winning both the French and Australian Open earlier this year, Nadal is expected to be the second seed at the ATP 1000 tournament, behind number 1 Daniil, as the world number 2 Alexander Zverev remains out due to injury. But chances are Nadal might just enter the hard courts as the top seed. The 36-year-old will now be bidding to win a record-extending 23rd Grand Slam title at the US Open. He's previously lifted the trophy in both 2019 as well as 2017, though he only made it to the semifinals in 2018. While we're super stoked to see Rafael give everyone a tough time in the US Open, with his recurrent health issues, we can never be too sure if we'll actually see him perform. So let's keep our fingers crossed with this one. And is Iga Swiatek ready to do some more damage? It goes without saying that the world number 1, Iga Swiatek, has been the best women's tennis player on the planet this year. And no, we're not exaggerating at all. Not only has she scooped up 4 WTA 1000 titles, won a second Grand Slam at the French Open, and maintained an incredible 37 matches win streak, but she's also the top seed at the Canadian Open in Toronto. Wow, you go girl. Now, you'd think that after such groundbreaking performances, her hunger for victory would intensify, but surprisingly, that isn't the case. In fact, the 21-year-old star has said that stacking up more W's is not her prime focus this summer. Instead of putting all her efforts toward winning, the Polish player wants to work on herself and improve her game. But that doesn't mean she's not aiming for a 3rd Grand Slam win at the US Open. That would definitely be the cherry on top. Furthermore, can we expect to see Roger Federer? After years of being inactive, the king of tennis, Roger Federer, has confirmed he'll make his awaited return to professional tennis later this year. And we don't know about you, but just thinking about him back on the court is giving us butterflies. For now, the Laver Cup is circled as the 41-year-old's return date, where he'll be playing for Team Europe alongside other tennis legends, including Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, and Andy Murray. Now that's something. The holder of 20 Grand Slam titles is then scheduled to play the Swiss indoors in his hometown of Basel on October 22nd. And sadly, this might be his only competitive ATP Tour event of the season. So what about the US Open? Is there any chance he'll also be competing in late August? As much as we want it to be true, if we're being honest, it's very unlikely that he'll return in time to play the 2022 US Open, which he won 5 times in succession between 2004 and 2008. Though sadly, he wasn't able to participate last year either because of his ongoing knee surgery. So we guess that's that. We won't be seeing the greatest grass court player at the US Open, but don't worry, his career revival is near. And hey, you still have so many other sensational players to look forward to. On the men's side, get ready to watch the defending champion and world number 1, Daniil Medvedev, fight to add another title to his collection. You'll also be seeing the likes of Casper Ruud and Carlos Alcaraz from Argentina, British player Cameron Norrie, and Polish number 9, Hubert Hurkacz, to just name a few. In the women's singles, keep your eyes out for Anett Kontaveit of Estonia, Maria Sakkari of Greece, Paula Badosa of Spain, and 2022 Wimbledon finalist Ons Jabeur of Tunisia. Oh, and not to forget the reigning Wimbledon champion, Elena Rybakina of Kazakhstan, who will be making her first appearance at a major as a Grand Slam champion. While the final draws have not yet been released, we already know a thrilling tennis Grand Slam awaits us. We wish all the athletes the best of luck, and may the best man and woman win. That's a wrap for this video. Are you excited to see all your favorite star players go head-to-head in the US Open? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.